Love thy enemy. How? Please see.
Mein Name ist Stefan Kocher.
Thank you for listening. Beyond self-defense. It is well known that in judo, the energy of the attacker can be used to defend oneself. I have gone a step ahead. I do not defend. I have no intention to win, to be stronger than the other. I just to harmonize the life situation. It is very easy to be understood. I say an aggressor is not on the first place aggressive, but in the first place unable. He was unable to digest past difficult situations. As a child, I decided always for wisdom, and I made a list of every bad things others were doing to me, with the remark, "This I never will do." Though at the age of 7 years, someone helped me to learn to read. I had difficulty with O and U. Then the person that helped me got angry because I was not able to do it rightly. He threw me on the floor, and with the military shoes, he hammered on me. And now, no defense, no intention to win over him. The first thing I was thinking, you're a silly man. When somebody sees you in the street doing this, your prestige is completely broken. But the more important thing was, I knew that he as a child had great difficulties. He was helping here and there, and for the help, even blamed. This is difficult to digest. Now, unable to digest these things, he, as many people do it, accuse somebody else who has done nothing. In German, it is called Sündenbock. I don't know the word in English. So my feeling was compassionately to forgive him. To say this is an unmature person who did not find the key how to digest such silly things. And now his heart is charged with all such garbage. He starts aggressing himself. So I kept fully quiet. I accepted every hammer. And when I stood up, I had almost no pains. But the pains, the pains come mainly from the resistance. If you do not resist, there are very little pains. Once 17 men around were hammering on me with baseball sticks. I did not defend myself. I just said, we are here to laugh. Okay, I love you, not what you do, but your hidden treasures in the heart I love. Suddenly they were like an explosion going away. And I had only here a little bit of wound. This is my way, not to defend, not to win, but to harmonize compassionately. Once with the 18 years, I was with a boyfriend in a tea room. We had not much money, but once we went. And then a man came with cigarettes burning before our face, moving 1 centimeter closer, and said, when you go out, you will see who we are. We did not know them. We went out. There was a separate going out on the left and on the right. My friend went out on the left. Soon the hospital car came, and I went because he was insisting on, I have right. You don't have the right to do this. And I said to the man on the right, he made his fist strongly. There are often situations in the life, meetings with people, one does not know what to do. And he opened the hand, and we were just friendly speaking like old friends, and I went away. This I call harmonizing. Instead of I want to win like my friend, he did win in the hospital then. I made a video and sending to the judge of peace in Fribourg, Miss Suter, but as usually they are not interested in such things. You may also see Timor out terror. A here unknown chapter, but easily misunderstood. Transcended love. It is a well-known fact that the problems that arise in the emotional life will turn into life situations in the transcended love. The psychiatrist does not know it, but nevertheless dares to treat people whose heart is transcended. Certainly.
Und den Angeklagten wegen seiner völligen Unzurechnungsfähigkeit einzuweisen.
Ach, bitter bereut, wer des weisen Rat scheut.
Mein Name ist Stefan Kocher.
Thank you for listening. It is well known since millennia that one can move from emotional love to transcended love, but a little bit effort is needed. Let's avoid this. So often one hears on this, and since many years I make research how to avoid it, and I know it is possible. I have heard many times in relationships, both are beggars, they have not much love, and then there is trouble. Then how to get a solution? I'm a man of compassion. My compassion is richer than my love. But compassion is not charity. It is not small acting, this I can. It is for development of mankind's life. Though it is very simple, I do not ask anything. You do not need to be mature. You do not need to have character qualities. Only one, that you want that the relationship remains and turns more and more beautiful. Now let us compare any couple with trees or plants. By a tree you see leaves, then bottoms, then flowers, then fruits, fragrant fruits. So instead of blaming the other, you can say, you have been in a state of a leaf. As a flower, you would not have done it, so it's forgiven. And I ask you too to forgive me if I make something you do not like. Perhaps I'm already a flower, but not a fruit. Then seeing this, that there is a development, you easily can forgive the other and put unique accent on relationship growing. This is all. Again, I repeat it. It's very simple. Do not blame the other, but say, you are a leaf in the state of a flower or anything, but not more mature. So it's forgiven. I also would do it in this case. For example, the man comes home ugly, terrible, and she can say to him, I know you had in the office this and this trouble. Your boss does not always accept it, and in the restaurant you meet friends which are not always best friends. But I am your friend. I made a cake for you. I make you something nice to eat. Just express it compassionately. It's not so difficult. You can exercise it on the sofa each other. You imagine, invent some problem, and then you forgive the other because he is not yet more mature. Finished. Hi.
Karl Marx und der Erste Weltkrieg. Karl Marx hat im Jahrhundert zuvor: Deutschland, wir weben dein Leichentuch 40.000 Mal verteilt. Deutschland, wir weben dein Leichentuch. Wir weben in dich hinein den dreifachen Fluch. Aus einem Gedicht von Heinrich Heine, die Weber. Der damalige König ließ dann das Gedicht verbieten. Offenbar wollte er das Staatsschiff des alten Sokrates nicht ankern lassen. Ansonsten hätte er die notwendigen, herzvollen Maßnahmen ergriffen, einen Ersten Weltkrieg zu verhindern. Entschuldigen Sie bitte, dass ich das sage. Es gibt einfach Dichter, die sehen Gefahren. Aber wer hört schon gerne so was? Ist halt nicht lustig. Karl Marx und der Zweite Weltkrieg. Genau dasselbe. In Deutschland, wir weben dein Leichentuch. Wir weben in dich hinein den dreifachen Fluch. Dazu kommen Kompositionen von Alban Berg. Dort hört man die Schreie, die den Kosmos durchhöhlen, aus den Konzentrationslagern Hitlers. Das hat auch nicht genügt, dass man das Staatsschiff des Sokrates hatte ankern lassen.
Mein Name ist Stefan Kocher.
Thank you for listening. Love thy enemy. Second part. I was an 18-year-old boy, and with my friend, we went into a tea room. We didn't have much money. In the tea room embassy in Solothurn. There suddenly two men came with a glowing cigarette to move it in front of our face at the distance of 1 centimeter. And they said, when you go out, you will see whom I am. My friend said, I do not know them. Then one moment we got up to go out, and there was a vitrine in the middle. So he went on the left out and I on the right. But my friend was a very opinionated person. He always wanted to have right. Not so I'm not interested to get right. He went out, and soon later the car of the hospital came to transport him there. I saw on the right side the man with a face strongly shown, I approached myself and said to him, I know it happens often in life that one meets people and one does not know what to do. And his feast dissolved, and we spoke friendly and separated lated. Heart intelligence is not such a bad thing. A revolver man came. I had an age of about 25 years and lived in Bern doing studies of mathematics at the university, and I went in a public house of the Bollwerk. There in the second floor, standing, a man with a revolver approached me, directed towards me. I told him, I think I'm not the person you are searching. Please climb up the stair here. And he went up the staircase and I went down. No need of trouble. I was searching a woman that does not need bodily touching. It was in India, where it is well known that this non-bodily love is the most fulfilling one. In India at that time, it was not allowed to speak to a woman. Then about 15 men came that dragged me in a hidden place to hammer me down with their baseball sticks. I was thinking, here we are to love each other. And there is a Hindi statement which is of highest value. It is that do not love the actions of the other, but his soul. I stayed there, absolutely unmoving, with this love in my heart. Suddenly, like an explosion, they all did run away. Here on the side, I had a little bit of wound, a very small one. The resistance creates the pains. I did not resist. A man with a big knife came. I had an age of about 25 or 27 years. It was in Bern, in the restaurant Casa Marcello, where you can get very good raclette for a good price. But one moment standing there to ask for something, a man came with a very huge knife, moving in front of my face, very close, 1 or 2 centimeters close, and moved it up and down. When he said something, I always answered in a friendly, polite way. After some time, he was fed up with doing it and went away. If I would have defended myself, perhaps he would have turned very aggressive. So I'm always more for harmony than for defense. Heart intelligence. A man urinated over me. I had an age of about 37 years. It was in a little park near the Beudenfeldstraße. Was a little bit tired. Then I lied down on a bank in this park. Then a young man came urinating over me. I allowed him to do his business, and then he went away. Why should I fight with a confused man? A teacher blamed me, but this time I did defend myself. I had an age of 14 years. I went in Solothurn in the Bezirksschule. There it was the rule that no one can come to the school with a bicycle when his way to the school is shorter than 1 kilometer. My way to the school was about 500 meters, very short. But one day I arrived with my bicycle, and the teacher Turci saw me. He was anyway angry on me because in all compositions I wrote on cactus. He did not like this, always to read on cactus. But I took them as my teacher of wisdom. Some years ago I wrote a poem of cactus, the wisdom of the cactus, with wind and water, sun and sand and space. These are the 5 elements of the yogis. He makes most beautiful flowers. Like the cactus is the sage. He does only little, nevertheless all is done. And I loved the cactus very much. Then in the school, he said to me, Stefan, you know it is not right to come with a bicycle in the school when the way to the school is shorter than 1 kilometer. I answered him, yes, Mr. Turci, I know it very well. That's why I made a detour of 1 kilometer. A bishop did ignore this my poem in Old Greek. Should I argue when he does not get the meaning of it? Doron sympatheion is not understood. I don't argue. I don't argue.
Mijn naam is Stefan Kocher.
Thank you for listening. Love thy enemy. This is Christian teaching. It needs the heart's intelligence. Liebe deine Feinde. Dies ist christliche Lehre. Es braucht Herzensintelligenz. Sigmund Freud rejects the Christian humanistic demand to love the enemy and calls it unreachable, irrational, and psychologically impossible. Some moments later, I will tell you the solution. Sigmund Freud lehnt die christlich-humanistische Forderung, seinen Feind zu lieben, nicht nur als unerreichbar, sondern auch als irrational und psychologisch unmöglich ab. In wenigen Minuten werde ich Ihnen darlegen, dass das völlig falsch ist. Er hat nicht das notwendige Verständnis. The first thing is, why does Freud call the enemy and not just a confused person? If he insists on enmity and there is no aggressive drive, as Freud proclaims, und es gibt keinen Aggressionstrieb, wie Freud behauptet. A heartful union is not possible. Warum nennt Freud den Feind Feind und nicht eine momentan verwirrte Person? Durch diese Distanz wird eine herzvolle Vereinigung der beiden unmöglich. An introductory and explaining example. Ein einführendes und erklärendes Beispiel. I was a 7-year-old boy to learn the alphabet. Ich war ein 7-jähriger Knabe, der das Alphabet lernte. Neunisch. I was a 7-year-old boy to learn the alphabet. Ich war ein 7-jähriger Knabe, das Alphabet zu lernen. Ein Mann half mir, einen Text zu lesen. A man did help me to read the text. But I had difficulties to distinguish O and U. Ein Mann half mir, einen Text zu lesen, doch ich hatte Schwierigkeiten, O und U zu unterscheiden. This made him so angry that he did throw me on the floor and did tap me with the military shoes. Das machte ihn so verärgert, dass er mich auf den Boden warf und mit Militärschuhen verstopfte. The first thing I was thinking, if somebody else was seeing it, your prestige is gone. Das erste, das ich dachte, wenn jemand das sieht, dein Prestige wird kaputt sein. But then my heart's intelligent looking helped me. Doch dann mein Schauen in Herzensintelligenz half mir. This man, as a child, he himself had big troubles and difficulties, and evidently he was unable to digest them. Dieser Mann als junger Knabe selber hatte große Schwierigkeiten und wusste nicht, wie er mit diesen Problemen umgehen soll, sie zu verdauen. That's why I saw in the man an unable person, unable to digest difficult past. Deshalb sah ich in diesem Mann einen Unfähigen, vergangenes Leid zu verdauen. And how to be with an unable person? One has to have compassion for him. Und wie soll man umgehen mit einem Unfähigen? Man muss Mitgefühl haben. Then when I stood up, I had almost no pains. Pains come from resistance. Wie ich dann aufstand, hatte ich kaum Schmerzen. Schmerzen kommen vom Widerstand. And there is no aggression tribe. Freud never climbed up the tax ladder to enter the realms of ultimate bliss, where our Heavenly Father lives. Freud stieg nie die Jakobsleiter empor in höhere Stufen des Bewusstseins, wo keine Aggressionstriebe existieren, sondern nur die unermesslichen Herrlichkeiten des Gnadenreichtumes der Allmacht Gottes. Sigmund Freud ging nie baden im Jugendborn der göttlichen Gnaden. So hat man halt den Schaden von Osama bin Laden.